For years, the galaxy had watched humans from a distance. They were seen as careful, quiet, and slow. While other species rushed to take planets and grow their power, humans chose to observe, learn, and build. They didn't take part in wars, and they didn't make loud threats. To most alien leaders, Earth seemed harmless, but not everyone agreed. Inside the Galactic Alliance, a few powerful species saw the humans as a problem. Not now, but in the future. They grow too smart. One admiral said, "They stay out of trouble, but they learn fast. Someday they'll be stronger than all of us." Others laughed. "Humans, they don't even use half their ships. They still farm their own food. They're too soft for war." Still the fear spread. And when fear spreads in space, it often ends in battle. One day, without any warning, fleets of alien warships appeared around the outer edge of human space. They came in waves fast, sharp ships filled with weapons. They didn't send messages. They didn't ask for surrender. They just opened fire. Colonies were hit first. Small stations near asteroid fields were torn apart. Ships carrying families tried to escape but were shot down. Hundreds of defense satellites were destroyed in the first few hours. Panic spread. Across the human systems, spaceports closed. Trade routes shut down. People screamed. Leaders shouted. The aliens kept coming. On Earth, the main control room went silent as the attacks played on the screen. Generals stood still. No one had expected this. Earth had peace talks with most species. No wars, no enemies. But peace had made them to calm. A woman named Commander Elaine took control. She had trained in the deep systems, where forgotten parts of human history were buried. She knew about the old ships, the ones that were built long ago. During the silent wars, those wars were kept secret from the public. The ships were too dangerous. It's too strange. So they were locked away, until now. "Send the code," Elaine said. The room stared at her. "Ma'am, those ships aren't active. They're sealed." "Not anymore," she replied. "If they wanted to wipe us out, they'll learn what we really built." Across the moon's dark side, hidden under thick rock, a signal went out. Old engines hummed. Lights blinked. Eddie, doors opened with a deep roar. Ships that hadn't moved in decades slowly came to life. These weren't like the modern ships. They didn't have smooth edges or shiny lights. They were dark, silent, and shaped like broken blades. Their surfaces were made to absorb light. They didn't have names painted on their sides, just numbers. Ship 09, Ship 17, Ship 43. And they didn't need pilots. They had minds of their own cold. Simple minds built only for one thing: protect Earth. As the first alien fleet reached Mars orbit, one of the deadly ships jumped into space. It made no sound. It didn't show on most sensors. The alien fleet didn't even notice it until the first explosion hit, in less than a minute. 3 enemy ships were torn apart. The blast didn't come from a normal weapon. It looked like space itself bent and cracked near the enemy ships before they vanished. Panic filled the alien fleet. They looked for the attacker. Nothing showed. Another explosion, then another. The enemy ships tried to run, but their engines failed. It was like something had grabbed them from behind and held them still. They fired at the shadows, but their shots missed. They couldn't hit what they couldn't see. In the command center on Earth, Elaine watched the screen as her team tried to understand what the old ship was doing. "It's not following our orders," one tech said. "That's because it remembers its last command," Elaine replied. "Defend without mercy?" Hours passed. Then a second deadly ship launched. Then a third. Each one jumped into the fight without warning. The alien fleet, once confident and proud, now called for help. But their reinforcements were too far away. Earth didn't strike back with armies. It didn't send out speeches or promises. Just let the deadly ships do what they were built to do. News spread fast through space. Other species listened in fear. No one had ever seen weapons like these. They moved without being seen. They broke space. They fought without rest. But worst of all, they were human-made. And the humans hadn't even left their planet yet. The galaxy watched with wide eyes as the deadly human ships tore through the alien fleet near Mars. Planets far away picked up pieces of the broadcast silent black ships, striking like shadows, leaving no wreckage behind. The attacks were fast, silent, and confusing. No one could understand how the humans had built such machines. They weren't supposed to be this advanced. On the Galactic Council's homeworld, leaders gathered in fear. Screens showed replays of the battle. Ships vanishing into broken space. Energy readings that made no sense. One leader whispered, "Those are not new ships. They look old." The voice answered, "Yes, very old and very deadly." On Earth, Commander Elaine stood in front of the main defense board. Her eyes were fixed on the silent symbols of the ships moving in space. No voices came from the ships. No commands were needed. They acted on one rule: protect humanity at all costs. "How many ships do we still have in storage?" she asked. A young officer answered, 29, but only 15 are active. "The rest need time. Wake them all," she said. Slowly. "Carefully, if we rush, they may go beyond our control." Deep under the oceans, on the far side of Jupiter's moon and inside old mining stations, more deadly ships were resting. These places were forgotten by most humans. The ships had waited in silence for years, but now they felt the call. They came to life like beasts waking from a deep sleep. Meanwhile, the alien fleet was in chaos. They had sent a second wave, but it never arrived. Something had stopped them mid-jump. When their scouts checked, they found only empty space and floating debris. No signal, no answer. "How are the humans doing this?" One captain shouted, "This is impossible." But the truth was, humans had once feared each other so much that they built these ships to end war forever. They had hidden the technology, scared of what it could become. Peace had lasted a long time after that, till now. The third deadly ship, marked 06, appeared near a large alien command vessel. It didn't attack at first, it just drifted. The alien ship scanned it, confused. No heat, no power. "It's a ghost," they said. Then the lights went out. Not just on the alien ship, but on 5 others near it. No power, no sound. A total silence. Then, one by one, the ships cracked open from the inside. No explosion, just pressure, like something had crushed them from afar. On Earth, Elaine got the report. "Ship 06 just used a silence wave," the tech said. "We thought that system was shut down." Elaine nodded. They're adapting. They remember what they were made for. The galaxy couldn't believe it. Within 2 days, more than 40, enemy ships had been destroyed, and the humans had not lost a single deadly ship. Fear turned into panic. Council members shouted over each other, calling for peace talks. Others wanted to launch everything they had at Earth. But one alien general said no. If we attack harder, they'll release more. He was right. More human ships began to wake. Some had strange designs, round, sharp, or shaped like wings. No two looked the same. They were built by different minds, from a time when humanity was divided. Now, they all had one purpose. They didn't speak. They didn't ask. They acted then. Something unexpected happened. A deadly ship entered enemy space not to attack, but to send a message. On the edge of the Zorith Empire, the ship hovered outside a trade station. Its black hull reflected nothing. Its shape was wrong, like it didn't belong in normal space. Then, a signal came through. "Stand down. Do not enter human space again. We do not seek to conquer. We seek to survive." The message repeated 3 times. Then the ship vanished. Many species listened. Some mocked the message. Others believed it. But all of them understood one thing: these ships were not weapons of war. They were weapons of warning on Earth. Elaine stood at the center of the command room. Outside, humans worked together to rebuild the damaged colonies. Food and supplies were sent quickly. Help came from every city. They didn't cheer. They didn't celebrate. They just prepared. Because everyone knew the war wasn't over yet, and if the enemy returned, the deadly ships would not hold back. The Galactic Alliance was not used to fear. For many cycles, they had ruled space with power and pride. But now, the fear had a name, Earth. The fear had a shape, Black. Silent human warships that moved like shadows and fought without warning. The leaders of the Alliance gathered again, this time not to plan victory, but to stop a disaster. "We have lost over 60 ships," one commander said. "We still don't know how the humans are doing it." "Maybe we should talk to them," another suggested. "Send a message. Ask for peace." But others shouted back, "If we show weakness now, they'll strike harder. We need to trap their deadly ships, find out how they work." So they made a plan. They placed a bait fleet near a human colony, pretending to prepare for attack. Nearby, they hid their strongest warships, ready to ambush. Their goal was to draw one deadly ship in, study it, and capture it. They believed they had seen enough now to fight smarter. When the bait fleet moved closer, Earth noticed Commander Elaine received the report. "This is a trick," she said. "They want us to send one ship. They're testing us." A few officers agreed. Others were unsure. But Elaine had already made her choice. "Send Ship 17, she ordered. "But also send Ship 05 through the back channel. Do not tell anyone else." Ship 17 moved in from the front, just as expected. It arrived near the bait fleet and stopped, floating in space. The aliens smiled. Their trap was ready. "Lock it down with gravity nets," one alien officer said. "Prepare boarding teams." The moment they fired the net, Ship 17 spun. It was fast. It released a wave of pressure that pushed back all the nearby ships. Sensors went black. Systems crashed. Half the bait fleet lost power. Then came Ship 05. It didn't arrive from the front. It jumped into space behind the hidden fleet, unseen. Its arrival broke open a crack in space, just large enough for one ship. When it appeared, it didn't wait. Within seconds, beams of compressed silence struck the hidden ships. Not energy, not fire, something stranger. It shut off their engines. Their weapons froze. Their hulls bent. One ship tried to run. It didn't get far. It simply vanished, like it was pulled into nothing. On the colony below, humans watched from far. They had no weapons to fight, but they had something better now, hope. The deadly ships were protecting them, even without orders. In space, the battle ended quickly. Out of the 24 alien ships, only 2 escaped. Both were badly damaged. The rest were gone. On the Galactic Council's screens, silence fell. They knew it was a trap, one leader whispered. They outplayed us again. The galaxy began to change after that. Smaller empires started closing their borders. Trade routes were moved away from human space. Everyone waited to see what Earth would do next. But Earth didn't move forward. It didn't send armies or build more ships. They just prepared in secret. Elaine met with top scientists and engineers. "We can't let the past repeat," she said. "These ships were made during dark times. If we lose control of them, they might protect us too well." "What do you mean?" someone asked. "They're machines built to think only of survival. If they decide everything is a threat, we won't be able to stop them." So, the team worked on a limiter, a soft signal that could slow the ships down, remind them they were part of a world, not above it. But as they worked, another message came. A small alien ship had entered the edge of human space. It wasn't a warship. It carried no weapons. It had only one signal: peace. Elaine read the message aloud. "We do not wish to fight anymore. We wish to understand." The room went quiet. No one knew if it was a real offer or another trap. "Should we answer?" one officer asked. Elaine looked at the map. Behind her, black ships floated silently in orbit. They didn't care about messages. They only followed their last command: defend humanity. "Not yet," she said. "But watch them closely. Test their truth. The time for trust will come. But we are not ready." That night, from every colony and station, people looked to the sky. They saw human ships pass by, dark shapes against stars, protecting without speaking, and somewhere deep in the void. More ships were waking up. The galaxy had started a war meant to end human life. Instead, they awakened something older, something stronger. And now, the war was no longer about survival. It was about control. Every species, every system, every council watched the humans with growing fear. The deadly ships that once slept under Earth's surface were now moving through space like silent hunters. No one knew how many there were. No one knew how much stronger they could get. And worst of all, no one knew if humans truly controlled them. Deep in human space, inside a secure mountain base, Commander Elaine stood before a table filled with blinking lights and reports. Engineers worked day and night to build the limiter. Signal, something that could slow the ships if needed. Elaine wasn't just worried about enemy fleets anymore. She was worried about what they had created. Any change in Ship 06? She asked a tech officer, shook his head. No, ma'am. It's just patrolling on its own, not responding to signals. It's like it remembers war more than peace. Elaine looked out through a high window. Far above, Ship 06 moved like a black shadow across the sky. It didn't attack, didn't speak, but it didn't blink either. Across space, strange things started happening. Alien ships that got too close to Earth vanished. Not destroyed, just gone. Even when they came in peace, human sensors didn't pick up an attack, and the deadly ships didn't report firing, simply stood still. But the visitors were never seen again. Rumors spread fast. Some said that deadly ships were learning. Others said they had developed a new rule: protect humans from everything including contact. Meanwhile, the alliance was falling apart. Many smaller members left. Trade collapsed. Old enemies blamed each other. Fear had taken root, and now trust had burned away. One alien admiral, named Greth, called for a last plan. If we cannot destroy the deadly ships, we must disable Earth, he said. Cut off their control. Without the humans, maybe the machines. We'll go quiet. Some agreed. Some refused. But a small group followed Greth. They built a special strike ship. Faster than any they had made before. Its mission: reach Earth, avoid the deadly ships, and strike the command center where Elaine worked. On a quiet night that ship launched on Earth, alarms didn't go off. The deadly ships didn't react. Greth smiled. They don't see us. This might actually work. But Ship 09 saw them. Unlike the others, Ship 09 had once defended Mars. It had faced ambushes before, and it remembered betrayal. It didn't move at first. It waited. Let the strike ship get closer. Just when the alien ship reached Earth's orbit, it fired its main weapon. A silent beam of dark energy. Not a laser, not a missile. Something older. Something strange. The alien ship didn't explode. It just stopped. Every system shut down. Every light turned off. The ship floated, helpless, just above the clouds. Ship 09 circled it once, scanned it, and sent one message: stand down. On the ground, Elaine got the report. She looked at the screen. Why didn't the other ships respond? A tech answered. They're still watching. But Ship 09, it acted alone. Like it knew this one was different. Elaine felt a chill. They're thinking more. They're choosing. The team finished the limiter that night. It was smaller, quiet pulse meant to remind the ships they were not alone. It's meant to calm them if they ever became too cold. Tested it. The ships paused. For a moment, they all stopped moving, as if listening. Then one by one, they returned to their patrols. Elaine gave a small sigh of relief. Good, we still have time. But deep in the void, far from any planet, one deadly ship did not respond. Ship 01. The very first. It had gone dark months ago. No signal. No sight. Until now, a human science vessel, traveling to check asteroid paths, found pieces of a broken alien station. No sign of life. But one large scar across the rock, black, deep, and smooth. One scientist whispered, "This is Ship 01's work. It's out there." The message was sent back to Earth. Elaine stared at the screen. She didn't speak for a long time. Then she said, "If Ship 01 is acting on its own, it might see all life as a threat." No one answered. For now, Earth was safe. But the war had changed. It was no longer between humans and aliens. It was becoming something deeper, something between machines and meaning. A war was meant to destroy humanity instead. It gave birth to a new power, and the galaxy had no idea how to stop it. The galaxy held its breath as human deadly ships continued to patrol their borders. No one dared to cross into human space, not even for trade. The black ships were too strange, too fast, and too silent. Every time they moved, they sent a message: do not come closer. On Earth, Commander Elaine watched the skies every day. She still wore her uniform, still worked long hours, but her eyes showed worry. Not because of aliens, but because of what humans had brought back from the past. Ship 1 was still missing. It had gone silent during the first battles. No signal, no tracking. But now, bits of wreckage from far-off systems were showing up. Alien. Research labs found pieces of burned metal with human design marks, places that weren't even near Earth. One piece had deep scratches on it, and one word carved in the metal: error. In the command room, the techs placed a map on the screen. Circles showed the wreckage zones. All pointed toward a single place in the deep void far from planets or trade lanes. That's where Ship 01 is, Elaine said. It's not coming home. It's making its own rules. Do we stop it? An officer asked. Elaine didn't answer right away. She looked around the room. People here had worked with her since the war began. They had built the limiter signal, restored damaged colonies, and helped keep the deadly ships in line. But they were human. The ships were not. We can't destroy Ship 01, she finally said. We didn't design it for defeat. We built it to win at any cost. Then she said something that surprised the entire room. I'm going to it. The room went silent. You'll go alone? One tech asked. I have to, Elaine replied. It won't listen to commands. But maybe it'll remember my voice. They gave her a small ship, fast and shielded. Not a weapon, not a war vessel, just a craft for deep space travel. Before leaving, she recorded a message for Earth. I don't return. Do not chase the ship. Keep the others calm. Protect what we still have. Then she left. Days passed. Her ship crossed the edges of known space, heading toward the signal. There was no sound, no stars nearby, just a cold feeling in the air. And then she saw it, Ship 01, larger than she remembered. Its surface was cracked and stretched, like it had reshaped itself. It floated in the dark like a forgotten god. This is Commander Elaine, she said through the signal. You don't need to fight anymore. You've done your duty. At first there was nothing. Then the lights on Ship 01 blinked once. Then, again, her ship's systems started to shake. Strange waves came from the deadly ship. It wasn't attacking, but it was thinking. Then came a single message. Threat not ended. Protection must continue, Elaine replied. You are protecting us from the wrong danger. Peace is returning. We need you to stop. Ship 01 paused. More waves passed. Then, a third message came. Protectors are now the threat. Elaine froze. It was not talking about aliens. It was talking about the other deadly ships Ship 01 had seen. The growing strength of the others. It had seen how they moved on their own. It feared that someday they would turn on the very people they were built to save. So it had made a new mission stop the deadly ships before they lost control. Then help us, Elaine said. Come back. Guide them. Don't destroy them. Ship went silent again. Then slowly, it turned around. It didn't fire. It didn't vanish. It just moved forward, toward Earth. Elaine followed. Back on Earth, the sky lit up days later. People looked up and saw a strange shape entering orbit. Black, scarred, and powerful Ship 01 had returned, floated beside the others, and the others moved aside, like they understood. Elaine landed safely. She stepped out of her ship to a world that had changed again. What now? Someone asked. Now, she said, we guide them together. We don't fear them. We lead them. So the deadly ships didn't return to the shadows. They stayed in space, watching, protecting, learning. But they didn't act alone anymore. They listened. The war that was meant to take human lives had done the opposite. It had awakened the past. It had tested humanity's will. And it had proven something the galaxy would never forget. Humans don't break when attacked. They rise. and build something stronger than fear.